I'm 27 years old and my wife is 24 years old. Let's call them both Anderson and Ashley. It's been 2 years since we got married. Ashley worked at an office as a receptionist and I ran a gym. A little over 1.5 years ago, I met Ashley in a gym that I was running at the time. I had just graduated with a degree in physical education and had also gained a diploma in fitness training at the time. She always came with a guy. It is possible that she was accompanied by a friend of hers, who may be her boyfriend. When I first saw her, she seemed to be very attracted to me, and at first I thought it might be a good idea to ask for a cup of coffee for her. However, due to the fact that she had a boyfriend, I stopped myself from doing so. Initially, she came with her boyfriend for 2 weeks and then suddenly she started coming alone. When I was working as both the gym owner as well as the gym trainer, one day I decided to ask for my client because it was the only right that I asked from my client. So I walked up to her and asked her who the guy was. She said that he would never come back because he was a very toxic person. Thank God he left. My reaction to this news was positive as I was eager to be with her and I wanted to be with her. So then I responded, "Are you really happy because he left?" She said, "Yes, man, because I was getting rid of that person." The woman told me that her ex-boyfriend left her because other guys saw her working out in the gym and he told her to stop going to the gym, causing a conflict. She said he likes to argue over trivial things. In my opinion, this is a very good opportunity for me. As a matter of fact, I did not ask her suddenly because I thought it was not the right time since she recently had broken up with her boyfriend. Hence, I just asked her if she would like to have a personal trainer. I am, of course, referring to myself. She agreed. I started training her right away. After 2 weeks of getting to know each other, she became comfortable with me, and one day after a workout, I asked her to hang out. According to her, I had a very good sense of humor, and she thought I was a very funny person based on what she said. As a result of few meetups, we had become much closer. It wasn't long before we started dating. She seemed to be really interested in me, and I could tell she was very engaged with me. There was no doubt that I was in love with her, but I did not ask her to get married because I was a bit shy. Nevertheless, one day I decided to propose her because I thought it was the perfect time for us to get married, and after dating for 3 months, she said yes and we got married. The two of us were living a very good life. We both were very busy with our jobs and everything seemed to be going smoothly. There was a thing that was very weird after marriage. If after 1.5 years we did not have a child, otherwise we were tired a lot of time. One of the first things I noticed after our marriage was that she was taking medicines. When I asked her what these pills were, she said that these were relaxation pills and sleeping pills. According to her, she had an issue with her, so her doctor prescribed her these medicines in order to deal with it. While that was okay, I still felt as if she did not want me to know about this. In spite of this, I ignored it. I once asked her if she had any health issues so we could consult a doctor. She said no, but she did not want children right now. Ashley responded that I am not ready, so I argued that why don't you want child if you are not ready yet? As much as I want a child, it is already too late to have one. It created a conflict between the two of us in which she said, "I don't want kids," and said that you should not command me because I am not your slave, so I will do whatever I want. She was overreacting since it is a natural thing to have children, and I had never forced her to have children. Just explain why she doesn't want. Then I started telling her that you have taken a lot of pills lately, and maybe that could be the reason that you have not been able to conceive yet. She got very angry and said that no, this is not about just pills, but I don't want children in my life right now. As soon as I tried to hug her just to calm her down, she hit me and ran into the bedroom and locked it behind her. A thought came into my mind that does she still love me, Well, now she is interested in someone else because I couldn't feel love anymore from her side. It is important to know that it was not a big deal that she brought a conflict with us because couples always discuss parenting roles and family planning. I was also doing the same thing, but she did not even want to listen to me. I was merely trying to talk to her in a loving tone, and I was also aware that girls are very curious and sensitive about the topic of having a baby, and I was also looking forward to having one after a long time, and that was a big concern for me. In my opinion, it was extremely rude behavior, and I was hurt by it. After that, I just thought that maybe she wasn't in the right state to have a child, so I could stop asking her about it for now. Following that, I always tried to love her as much as I could, but she refused to even speak to me after that. In the past, she used to kiss me and hug me when I got back to the house from the gym. Dinner and romantic evenings were enjoyed. Her attitude seems to have changed suddenly because everything seems to be an illusion. There was a concern in my mind about her. It seemed like she doesn't even want me in the house. When I sat down with her, she would get up and go into the room whenever we were together. I was getting hurt all the time. As she was out of the house going to the market one evening, I made dinner for her and set up the table with romantic candles. The purpose of this is to apologize to her, even though I have not done anything wrong, but I still want to love her again. In fact, when she came, she did not even notice what I did and said I had already done my dinner before coming back to the house. It was just a shock to me when she did this to me. My expectation was that we would have dinner, then watch a romantic movie that she would love, but her response was ridiculous and I was really disappointed. As I was relaxing at the weekend, I was thinking about listening to music on my laptop. Ashley and I both used the same laptop, so when I opened the laptop, I noticed something very strange. In history, there is a search history about how to use and install Nexplanon. While I did not have any idea about it, it was strange to me. I ignored it and continued searching for music instead. While I was listening to music, however, my curiosity about the term Nexplanon disturbed me. When I searched for it, I found that it is an implant used for birth control. Goosebumps went up and down my spine when I heard that. First thing that came to my mind was that Ashley may be looking for it for the purpose of preventing the birth of her child. Nevertheless, I thought she must have told me if this implant had been put in her body, if she had one, since she replied in a rude manner that it was none of your business. I did not want to make a scene at the moment. In fact, I am not even interested in talking to you. After that, I stopped talking and just sat on the sofa, wondering what the hell she wanted. When I tried to talk to her, she fought with me, and even though I would definitely do whatever she said, as a result, I decided to keep an eye on her, since that was the peak of my tolerance. The only thing I wanted to know about her was that she was thinking. I checked her phone as she was sleeping since she got sleeping pills, so she couldn't wake up easily. So I found an unknown number sending her messages saying, "Miss you, I couldn't sleep without you," and many other things. There was no previous chat. It looked like she had deleted it recently. Therefore, I was certain that she was cheating on me. I was very disturbed by what I saw at that time. As it became clearer and clearer to me, the real game was the one she was playing with me. After seeing the message, I thought that it was kind of obvious that she had to be in a physical relationship with the person with whom she had an affair. It's because of her lover that she hates me. Obviously, if she had searched for Nexoflan, she must have implanted it into her body so that she could not become pregnant as a result of her AP. During my research into Nexoflanon, I found a lot of information about how to use it successfully. I learned how to implant it, how it works, and especially how to check and how to remove it correctly. During one of Ashley's sleep, I checked her arm with the help of what I had learned, and as expected, there was an implant in her arm. As a result, I was afraid that she would wake up before her proper time. However, She did not, because after taking pills, it was nearly impossible for her to awaken. The Nexplanon has been successfully removed from her body. It was now clear to me that she would have to sleep with her AP in the future without having to worry about being pregnant. It was just a matter of waiting for her. Besides spying on her, I also talked to a lawyer about making divorce papers because I was obviously preparing to divorce her after all of what had happened. One day she looked sick and was vomiting, and although I hated her, I had no choice but to ask her for the sake of humanity. Yet she still told me to get away from her as she did not need my help. It was also after a few days that I heard her voice in the room. The door was closed, but I found her weeping and begging on the phone. She was talking about how she had used birth control, but she did not know what had happened. "You could not do this to me because I loved you, and you couldn't leave me like this. I was pregnant because of your actions." She was pregnant now, and when she told her affair partner, he refused to accept the child and dumped her. Despite knowing everything, I did not react because I wanted to see what she could do and how she would react after this incident. So I did not react. On the next day, she came to me and asked me if I would forgive her, if she would tell me something about what happened. I knew that everything that happened was predictable for me, so I said yes. Go ahead and tell me whatever you want me to know. As soon as she started telling me everything that she did not feel like before, and even now when she has accepted her mistake, she still blames me for being rude by saying that my behavior was rude to her. This made her cheat when she met him. He showed attention to her, loved her, and slept a lot with her. She says finally that she did not know how she got pregnant and that her affair partner dumped her. The truth is, I was listening intensely to what she had to say when she stopped telling, and then she asked me if I could forgive her. In the midst of this, I get up, get into my room, get the divorce papers, and slam them on her face as hard as I can. I just told her that I removed your birth control device because I knew that you were fucking someone else, so I removed it from you. I want you to get your belongings and leave my house as soon as possible. I was just waiting for this day. It is now time for you to get the fuck out of my life." There were so many tears, and she began begging me not to leave her. "Don't leave me. I couldn't live without you. I am your wife and I am sorry for everything I've done." After doing all this, I just laughed and asked, "Are you for real after doing this? How could you say that you are my wife and that I couldn't leave you? In fact, I already had left you when I discovered that you were sleeping with someone else when I found out. It was at that exact moment that I decided to leave you. I just wanted to see how the results would be for me. Please do not make me angry because I did not want to do anything that I will regret later on in my life." As she was not getting out of my house, I held her arm and just pulled her out of the house as fast as I could. The fact that she doesn't have anyone in the city or that she doesn't have a job anymore is entirely her concern and not my concern. I don't have any relation to her anymore. The other thing that I wanted to forget in my life was that I ever fell in love with anyone.